My name is Derrick Dudley. They call me Shaka. I'm from the north end of Hartford. And born and raised in Nelton Court, and you know, went to Hartford Public School. Unfortunately, didn't graduate. Got my GED inside the penal system. Well, I come from a two-parent home, working parents, and I had hope. You know, I always knew, you know, things would get better because they instilled in me, you know, morals, principles, and if you don't stand for something and believe in somebody, you know, you're going to be lost. You know, and so, you know, 7 and 8, you know, I did the tea stands, the Kool-Aid stands, the candy bar selling, and got involved in the center around that age, you know, after school programs, around, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I used to go to this, like a behavioral guidance counselor, clinical place. It was on the avenue where, I don't know the name of the park, but in between Urban Street and Magnolia, that vacant lot, which is a park now where the basketball court is, it was a youth behavioral study clinic. And so growing up, I was always involved in something, trying to, you know, make sure I stay on the right track, because in school I was in like an enrichment program, and I have a dream program, but my behavior had got a little bit beyond the chart. So
where you think that stemmed from?
Well, like I said, lack of attention, you know, because my parents used to be at work, so I'm a middle child, looking out the window, seeing the community, which way things were going, and who I thought was winning and want to become a part of. Yeah, that's what stemmed the behavioral acting out. Well, when I was growing up, it was a little bit more community cohesiveness, a little bit more Auntie Maddie chastise Aunt Joanne's son, or you know, but the normal things, you know, that was going on in the community: drug dealing, drinking, gambling, and a lot of domestic violence. You my girl, that's my man. So those things was like a normal, you know, something that you've seen on a day in and day out basis. So, you know, and seeing those things contribute to behavioral acting out or being rebellious. You know, pent up frustration, anger, don't know what to do with it, ain't nobody talking about it, so work it out. You know. In my community, we had basketball leagues, little league, you know, block parties. Every year would have a big cookout. Everybody was invited, and those that grew up and left, or those that grew up and went on to college would come back. And those were some good days, and those were some of the best memories that I still carry with me today, that still give me hope and inspiration when I see those brothers and sisters whom I don't say made it out, because making it out, if you don't come back and contribute, where did you go? What we gonna do now when the next person fall or die or get killed, or the next elderly person have a heart attack and pass on? You know, because only through education, and education is the vehicle. All the projects, Stowe Village, you know, because Stowe Village had a good community center. And then the dude name was Bump. You know, he would take everybody roller skate in Bellevue Square, the Assembly Hall. Michael Fothergill and them take everybody horseback riding. Nelton Court, Boo Boo Man would take everybody race car driving. You know, so just the projects, because you always had one of the elder brothers in the project or sister who contribute or funded the money to leave outside the project and see other things. So it was like, man, I'm gonna go down the square and get involved with this. They had boxing down there, you know. So Parker Memorial was a big part of my neighborhood. You know, it's going on in Parker. They giving a party down there, down the gym. So, you know, it was a variety of things going on, and it made each neighborhood that much more desirable to go and hang out. It wasn't too much murders going on and assault and all of that, but, you know, yeah, it was a variety community. From the age of 14 to 17, wind up catching some time. I did 11 years, I had an 18-year bid. I got out of that sentence. Wind up coming back home, 01, getting involved in the gangs and the hustlers. The Solid 30s, Magnificent 20s, P-Stone Rangers, you know, those was the four ghetto brothers. Savage Nomads. Yeah, those 7 to 8, yeah, when I was coming up, 10, 11, 12, that was making noise around the town and doing different things. Yeah. Along the way, from yesteryear, there was Magnificent 20s, the Emperors, the Bojacks, but then in my generation came about 20 Love and it's a derivative of Magnificent 20s. It's a spin-off of that, 20 Love. 20 Love, and 20 Love stands for, with the O, the organization itself, everybody loving one another. And the colors was black and green, you know. Black is for the land, green is for the money, you know, and like that, yeah. I came across 20 Love inside the P now.
Thing is, see, now there's a difference between, now you have the Magnificent 20s and you have 20 Love. That's a difference. The magnificent 20s was taking care of their community and everything. The 20s, that's a gang thing. That's a jail gang thing.
And whom it was made up of all the guys I grew up with, all my classmates, playmates, and then the titles came into effect, and I was a vice president in 20 Love, and in the Penal, I was in the prison, which was Summers, Cheshire, and then they brought me to Kyle Robinson in the early 90s. So it was a lot going on during that time, especially still with the blacks and Hispanics. So we had the Latin Kings, ECB, Los Solios, Netas, and whatever else little gang wanted to try to rise up during the gang era time. But we didn't have no alliance with no other gang, and we basically ultimately had to hold our own inside the Penal.
That shit got started because they were taking niggas sneakers, they was robbing the blacks, storing niggas, raping niggas, cutting niggas up. That type of shit was going on. Blacks got tired of that shit, so the blacks started motherfucking the 20 Love.
Because it was a lot of rape, robbery, a lot of stealing, a lot of extortion, and because it had became a monopoly in the prison system, the other three gangs were in alliance against the 20 Love, so me as being the vice president had to negotiate and rationalize some of the situations that occurred. But ultimately I'm a soldier, and so I used to soldier through the Penal as well as being an officer in the gang itself. And so we had educational programs that we was involved with, culture committees, a lot of things 20 Love represented. So when I went back to prison for some violations, I was in the halfway house in 93. I skipped and I went back, but in 93, I believe it was, the Latin Kings killed the Los Solio in front of the halfway house. So and that really did something to me, because I knew both of the boys, and we were there, on some positive stuff, but this gang thing, had got so deep embedded in all three of us. One was a Latin King, one was a Solio, and I was a 20. But I don't know, I had let my guard down for whatever reason, plus being where we were at in the halfway house on the south end of Hartford, and being supervised, 24 hours in the halfway house, I just couldn't fathom me shooting somebody or somebody getting killed in this place, and so that really woke me up. Established in the penal system, but being when I was in Kyle Robinson, so it was a high turnover ratio, and for those that liked what was going on and how it was being presented, carried it out with them, that believed in it, and that still do. There's plenty of brothers that still do believe in it, and believe in the brothers that started it. Money, it's money in the Penal through cigarettes, commissary, batteries or what have you. But now you out in the world where different sections, different part of the town that was involved with 20s, or what was a chapter of 20, you know, money. You know, we sponsor parties or, you know, it's just a lot of different things.
I was just about to guys to go into that. What were some of the positive things that people were misunderstood that 20 Love was trying to bring to the communities?
Well, we, you know, did, you know, that cohesiveness, that love, you know, because people, some of the young brothers out here, young sisters, desire to be loved, desire to be heard, desire to just be acknowledged, and that's what, you know, that brought to the table. You know, they go my brother, they go my sister, you know, peace and love, and departing. You know, not no explicitives, fuck you and bye, I hope you die. You know, peace and love, you know, and that rang, and it still rings, and it carries, you know, that with it. Peace and love.
No.
But now this generation, I don't know, it's called Generation X, Generation Zero, but it's a lot going on, and it's not monetarily, it's not monetary fueled, it's not territorial fueled with this internet thing. You know, because anything could be said, and it's and you know, the translation and, you know, the broadcasting of it is simultaneous as to saying it. So, and it's just more fueled by disrespect, and it's just a mess. Volunteering, but, you know, every day through the community, if a young person, you know, approaches me or needs some type of guidance, you know, I'm always available. Chatting with Champ, man, and young brother, you keep up the good work, man, and I'm always available and always around, man, by the grace of God. Peace and love.